Hi guys, it's like a foggy, kind of a really cool morning here on House Street Beach. Like foggy, and there was surfers out there that you could kind of just see through the mist. And the sun's supposed to come out later, so I remind myself the sun is there. It's not out right now. It's gonna get better. Sun's coming out later. So I took my long walk this morning, and something quick I wanted to share with you, that something that like I learned a long time ago, but I remembered and has been front and center. Like I keep having to remind myself that this is it. So we all have what's called a happiness set point, like a set point for our baseline well-being or state of happiness or well-being. So so this is what determines they call it your happiness set point. So here's the deal. 50% of our happiness set point is genetic, okay? So you might think, okay, then I have no control over that. Kind of, yes and no. We do and we don't. But like, so we have our genes but we have, based on our lifestyle. So people often will say, oh my God, my mother, my family, diabetes runs in my family. Well, more than likely what runs in your family is like eating cinnamon rolls and donuts and pasta or whatever that is, our food. And then that's why people are diabetic. Yes, some of it's genetic, but our genes control, they say your genes control, your genes load the gun, but your lifestyle pulls the trigger. Good one, right? Genes load the gun, lifestyle pulls the trigger. So your genes 50%, but we have some control over that 50%. Okay, so the other 10%, and only 10% of our happiness set point is our circumstances. Believe it or not, like the research shows that our circumstances will determine only 10%. So for instance, you could win the lottery and you think, oh my God, if I only won the lottery, I would be so happy and so free, and I wouldn't have to worry in the world. Okay. Like maybe for a while you'd be like really high as a kite and think life is great, and somewhere down the road you'll come back to your happiness set point. Okay, and vice versa. If something horrible happens to you, like you could have an accident, become like paralyzed or something, you potentially would go down, and potentially maybe come back, but you come back to your happiness set point. I saw that real life. I have an old friend from that, like when I used to live in San Diego, and a few years ago, she had it like in her late, a life-changing, awful stroke, and like was left paralyzed, and has like live-in help, but you know what, my friend, she was like, rehab hospital for like a good year, and now you know what, she's still this kind, caring, upbeat, positive person that she always was. She's back to her happiness set point. Okay, so circumstances, only 10%. So we don't want to waste our time and energy. We can't control our circumstances. You can't. If you can't control the circumstances, you got to let go, like we talked about with the riptide. Let go, surrender, go with the flow, and not waste your time or energy trying to like control things that we can't control. Okay, so what is the other 40%? The other 40% is our habits, thoughts, and behaviors. And that, my friends, habits, thoughts, and behaviors, we do have control over. Yes, we do. We can decide what we do, what our habits become, like what we do on a regular basis. Our thoughts, that's why we say get your mind right. Our thoughts and our behaviors, how we respond and react to life, what life throws you. So your habits, thoughts, and behaviors, hard as it is, but we do have control over it. That 40% will determine like your happiness set point. So that's why it's so important, like to do what boosts you, boosts you feeling better, there's all, everyone's got their own path to take. I don't subscribe to say everyone's got to do X, Y, and Z, because, it's not true. But like, that's why I like to go for long walks. I used to be a runner. Like, I don't run anymore, but I walk. Walking is so good for my head, not just my body, but for my head. Walking and music, right? Talking to friends and what works for me. I know it works for me, and I'm like dialing it down, double down. Like that's what I'm doing to keep myself like at just an even point. Because you know what, frankly, like in the beginning of all this COVID, I was watching way too much news. It was dragging me down. I was feeling really anxious and more worried and fearful and like, you know, weird. Like it was just like, it is a time of uncertainty, but I don't need to be sitting there and be reminded like all day long. I want to be out walking and doing things that are going to help me not feel alone and feel like just a little bit of hope. And, you know, people like surround yourself with people then that are going to, you know, dial in and help you. You know, our attitude determines our altitude. So if you hang out with people that, you know, they say like, you know, you have a choice. So you're, I like to, you know, kind of surround myself with people that are going to like lift me up and, you know, or listen and be, like, you know, that help me kind of, help me as opposed to like just dragging me down, right? So anyway, that's what I wanted to share with you. Remember, only 10% of our happiness or our well-being is determined by our circumstances. The gene piece, you know, our lifestyle pulls the trigger. You know, that's what, you know, we have loaded, the genes load the gun, but you know, truthfully, it's what we do every day. What we think, what we eat, what we drink and eat and think and like do and we call and what station we listen to and what movies we watch and like, you know, all those things that, you know, you have control over. So being at the beach just makes me feel good. So I just wanted to say that have a great week and yeah, do whatever you got to do to get your mind right and make you feel good and just know that you're not alone. We're not alone. We really aren't. So the sun will be out. The sun is coming out. It's behind the clouds. That we know. And it's actually kind of cool. Fog is really an interesting mood. It's an interesting mood. Yeah, I don't know if you hear the noise. There's these like tractors like going up and down the beach. I don't know. They're doing some kind of project with the beach replenishment that we tried to do last year. And, you know, anyway, that's the noise. All right, have a wonderful, beautiful day. Lots of love. Bye.